All right, welcome back to Rebel Ants Radio. Kevin here with Jonny from NFT Energy. We're at NFT Live NFT NYC 2024. How are you, Jonny?
I'm fantastic.
And why did you decide to come to NFT NYC this year?
We came here to promote our product. So, we are an NFT energy drink that's actually bridging an IRL product to NFTs and Web3. We saw a huge gap there, so we created a product that does that. And it is that vessel that we can now bring brands that are maybe they're only in our world.
Yeah.
Right? And it's now the average guy at the gas station picks up our cans hey, this is cool. What is it? And maybe it's 1 out of 1,000, whatever it is. We funnel them in, and now they're getting a whole different viewpoint.
Yeah, you and I were talking yesterday with your partner and Miguel over here. And after that, I was like, this makes so much sense. Why hasn't this been done before? It seems like a no-brainer. How did you decide to go this direction and say this is where there's a need?
Well, it was interesting. So when we started, the idea wasn't actually to put other people's IP on the front of the cans. We had just a small spot. We were going to put it on the back and just kind of say, okay, well, let's just have it right here in a small area, and then our brand will be up front. And then we started working with one of the communities, and they said, we want ours up front. And I mocked it up, and I was like, actually, it's really good.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm like, that's actually a good idea. So we started going that direction. And there's so many different versions, and it's just eye-catching. So now we have a total different viewpoint. It's not like I'm seeing NFT Energy up front. I'm seeing NFT Energy. That's a cool can. And we actually think about it as each can is, it's not necessarily each can's an NFT. We treat it as a collectible.
Sure.
Because there's only a certain number of them. So if I'm in it, then I'm going to get this one, this one, this one. And so you're bringing the real-life product to it and just put on your shelf, not even drink it,
Yeah. Was it challenging for you to pivot from saying we want our brand on the front? Because I know sometimes I get stuck on an idea and tell Miguel he's wrong.
It was at first. I was like, why would I don't want to do that? Because now it's not that's then what happens if we change? And then, but honestly, once I mocked it up and started doing it, I was like, that's fire. I kind of like that. So.
Yeah, well, good on you for adapting and kind of responding to the market demands for that. That's great. And when you say people want to save these, I mean, I feel like if I had a can of beer that I drank, I wouldn't want to keep an empty can of beer sitting around. So you're saying people are buying it maybe to just keep it closed as a collectible.
Exactly. So we offer packages. So if I'm for example, these are Pigeons from New York, right? That's on this can. These guys are awesome, and so they have. We've done multiple events with them, but their community is so strong. And so one of the things that we set up is the ability to buy specifically for that community. There might only be a certain number of packs, but now it's I don't care about the other communities. I just want mine, right? So they buy that, and they put it on their shelf, and then maybe it's a 12-pack, only 4 of them stay on their shelf, and drink the rest. Whatever. But there's people that when it's your IP and it's your picture on there, and I've seen the happiest faces of a couple guys in the last couple of days. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that tangible thing is so exciting to see, right? We spend so much time seeing the digital version. You're like, yeah. You kind of get numb to it, seeing it online, but then seeing a physical one. I mean, even when we showed up here at NFT NYC and saw our banner, we're like, oh, whoa, that's us. That looks okay. Right? You must get to see that all the time.
It is. It's so cool. It's just, for it to come to fruition, it's just a physical product. Because when you drink it, and it's kind of you just look down and you're like, yeah, that's real. Right? It's that is a cool thing,
Yeah.
It's so different when it sits between different cans.
Yeah.
So
now, the quality of this, if you don't mind me touching it, is it looks really good. It feels really good.
Yeah.
How did you get from version 0.05 to this? How much uphill was that?
It was interesting. So when we started, there's a couple different options to look at, and we decided it was going to be a printed can because we can do sleeves, we do printed cans.
Right.
But there's a lot more options to do different styles when you do or slower volumes when you do printed cans.
Is that cheaper than the
sleeves?
Not.
So it's not, and that's kind of the hard thing is you want it always to be most cost effective for what you're producing. But we saw the value in it, and we said, okay, so it's going to be a little more expensive for cans, a little less profit for us. But in our reality, we have more ability to customize things.
Yeah.
And so we decided that was the best way to go. As we grow, and it's hundreds, thousands, or millions of cans a year and stuff like that, then we might go different routes.
Sure.
It'll be printed differently on the metal, but right now it's each one. We'll do a small batches, and small batches will be thousands of cans. So each one of these designs, that's gonna, for example, there's only 1,700 of these cans. That's it, right? And so that's a pretty small amount, which is nice because that we won't have any more.
Right. That's it. It's scarce.
Yeah.
And, I listened to a podcast called My First Million. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but they say, like, do things that don't scale, because that's how you really build that.
That's interesting.
That's where you get the grit from, and that's how you really make those connections that then allow you to scale.
Yeah.
So what are some of those things that you're doing that don't scale, almost like that? that it's just you and a small team, right, that make this happen?
It is. We, honestly, through a small team, we've had to find different ways of things. I think knowing what you can't do is one of the stronger things to be able to grow, because then you know what you have to find the right source to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you try to do everything, you'll fail.
Right.
At least that's my people.
No,
right?
yeah.
And so we have a great community we work with, a great partnership that we've created with a company called Keyspace. And they do all our tokenized loyalty program and stuff like that. And they've kind of advised us on certain things. And they've taken the ability for us to grow past this point. So, like the reward programs. And if you think about, everybody knows Coke reward points, right?
Right,
or
Coke reward points.
Maybe the Monopoly program.
Sure.
That, you had at McDonald's or whatever. So we're doing the NFT version of that.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like puzzle pieces that'll come out. And only people that do direct to consumer, like that buy online, can get those. And so it's kind of like it will be limited to that, but we think that that's a good thing.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So it's not like I can just go to the store and get it. The people who, I'm in California or I'm wherever, I want to buy it, and it's specific to that's the one I want, then now you also are going to have, I'm building this up, and now I get some sort of prize by collecting it.
Yeah, and that's where like the really loyal people are going to make the effort to make that happen.
Yeah, and we think that'll be something good for the loyal people, right?
Yeah.
So,
what's it been like working so directly with like NFT Web3 companies? Is that an unusual type of clientele? Are they all kind of the same?
No, they're completely different.
Okay.
So it's interesting. So we have two groups that we work with, and right now, two true partnerships with NFT communities, and we have a couple philanthropic ones we're doing too. And then we have one that I use my own IP for, IP rights for the ones that I have for the little pudgies, right? And the two communities that we actually are partnered with Pigeons of New York and the Supreme Kongs, which is Jungle Labs. We know them in person. We've been able to connect with them, and that's one of the reasons we felt comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But what they do, each group's different. So the Pigeons of New York, we've actually done 2 events prior to this with them, and it was like, yeah, we definitely see this partnership. This needs to happen because there's so much we can grow together on. And they're doing things far beyond helping other people connect and grow. And then the Jungle Labs, they're more of building their own brand and growing that, right? And so it's completely, everybody's trying to grow,
right?
But it is definitely a different type of correlation of work between which way we want to go on this and how we promote the brand. So,
yeah. Is it a lot of hand holding on your part to say, well, you got to think about this. Well, don't forget about this.
Somewhat, yeah. There is some of that. We tried to make it easy and say we're limited to just 4 designs. That's all we're going to put on.
Yeah.
What's the most 4 that you have out there? And then sometimes they'd be like, a choice. Okay, do we not want that one? What looks best in the shelf?
Yeah.
That's other things. It can't look. We don't want something that's going to blend in and be dark. So you have to have some sort of viewpoint on that.
Yeah, that's good. And you had mentioned yesterday that you and your partner have some background in this area, procurement or purchasing.
Yeah. So honestly, it's not in beverage industry.
Right.
I've been in manufacturing my whole life, and so it's been in automotive, so tier 1 automotive, so make parts for Honda, BMW, and I've got 400 people working for me. I have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
But what we want to do is transfer our skills. So I have that. He's purchasing and sales, and then we also have another guy who's accounting. And I think one of the gaps is a lot of people that create certain things, and what's happened the last couple of years in Web3 and NFTs is they don't know how to run a business.
Right.
And so then you invest, and you look at it, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And they don't know how to make it last, right?
Yeah.
And keep on creating.
That's interesting to think that the projects in that trio that you just mentioned, like the projects are the creators coming in. So you're like, you guys come up with the IP or the design, and we'll help you bring it to life.
Exactly.
That's interesting that you're providing that, almost like a service for them. Besides the fact
really
that it's a product, but you're also providing the service to say, hey, we got you. Just give us the design you want.
You can put it out there and the general public see it.
That's really cool. Yeah. Now, tell me about where you're at with this. I think you said there's 1 flavor right now, maybe more to come?
Yeah, so that's a good point. So right now, our flavor is Explosion. It's our own design. Everything's our own flavor and formulation. And we will expand. But the way we're going to expand is a little bit different. So we are trying to use the whole community process So we'll have our own NFTs. They'll come out in about 2
Right.
months. And those NFTs will actually have DAO type ability where we vote on different flavors that come out. And also, they'll be able to pick one of the next communities that actually be on the cans.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. That makes sense to leverage community for that.
Yeah.
Good. Jonny, where can people find you and your product? And if they want to work with you, what should they do?
So we are located in the U.S., in Georgia and in Florida. And you can go to our website, check it out. It's NFTEnergydrinks.com.
Got it.
And then also, same thing, NFT Energy Drinks on most all socials.
Okay.
X, you can look at Instagram, same thing.
Perfect.
TikTok.
Good job getting all those.
Yeah. Try to make it very simple.
I know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Good. Well, thank you for chatting. Do I get to try one of your drinks finally?
Yes.
Because we've been eyeing it for 3 days. Like, we got to get one of those.
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
good. We look forward to it, and maybe there'll be an ant on your can one day. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some rubber ants.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming by.